Well, hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, I am joined by special guest Lisa, the CEO of
Hi
50
there.
Flowers. Lisa, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
This has been, I gotta break it to you guys. We've actually, we've been chatting for over an hour already, and we almost didn't even,
we had some hummus and broccoli.
There was hummus involved. So for a quick breakdown, for those of you who don't know, or haven't seen any of the floral videos I've ever done on this channel, 50 Flowers actually is a wholesale direct-to-consumer from farms to arms. Is that what we call it?
That's what we're saying, farms to arms.
And even before I started my business, the very first styled shoot that I did the florals for, and I ordered from 50 Flowers. So even before YouTube, before I even had my first client, like I was working with your products.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Because it made it accessible. I knew the vision that I wanted to create, and I knew it wouldn't be, I couldn't afford a florist, but I could afford the flowers.
You know, Jamie, we have so many, we've inspired so many people and women to be entrepreneurs, which is another tug on my heart.
Okay, so jumping into why we have you here today.
I am so excited to talk to the world about what's going on in the floral industry because it's kind of like calm the nerves. We've had enough panic going on.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of people probably don't even know, like you guys probably don't know how much is going on behind the scenes of florals. I mean, we've heard some florists talk about like, here's this crisis that's going on, but we don't exactly know all the extent of it. So what's happening?
So hot off the press.
Yeah.
I was just in DC last week talking with the breeders, the growers, the wholesalers on a board that I sit on, a Society of American Florists. And there is a true shortage, not only a true shortage, but we also have this incredible demand. You know, for years we've talked about the power of flowers and how flowers bring joy into lives. And we've done all these great university studies on it. People believe it, and now we're consuming flowers more than we ever have.
Wow.
And there is a really big uptick in the production and the export-import. We're up 20% just from Colombia itself. Yes, there's a big uptick. At the same time, we're making up for all of those lost weddings. Yeah. So, you know, everyone's wanting flowers. Second off, COVID really did some damage on our crops.
Yeah.
You know, where they were just like, oh, what's COVID? We're still going to produce. And we didn't have the labor to keep the maintenance going. And another really important point, like forwarding, from here forward is unfortunately, there are containers stuck and all of our raw plant material, it's not getting delivered in time to have, the production that we're going to want to have. And with all this, high demand coming in, all of the breeders they're wanting to, create more delphinium. Delphinium's a hot flower right now. Yeah. And we're at a point to where we're saturated. We can't produce fast enough for the demand.
Wow. So the combination of, everyone being stuck at home and sending flowers to one another as a sign of affection or I miss you. And then this sort of reopening that we're experiencing now and this rush of weddings. In addition to that, we have this complication of the growing process has been stunted or inhibited, and then we can't even get the flowers here. This is like the perfect storm.
Well, we didn't even touch the whole transportation and how there's just a lack of planes. And, we are shipping flowers from South America in containers. Good luck getting them through.
Wow, yeah.
With the 144 containers I just saw flying over Long Beach that are stuck in, with all the presents that are supposed to be here. So there is a serious problem with the transportation. And with flowers, you do both planes, trains, automobiles. You remember that movie? That's the way our flowers come into the States. They get flown into Miami, domesticated. Then they go on a truck and they get trucked up to a wholesale house that then gets distributed to the florist and then ultimately to your, to your venue.
Wow.
Or the way we do it is, with an overnight express but it involves all planes, trains, automobiles, and we can't even get truck drivers right now.
Wow.
Which we're all experiencing that. And, you try to get your toothpaste. Who hasn't walked through a big box store and seen how empty the shelves are?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot, and so for those of you who are listening, most of the florals are grown abroad.
So 80% of the flowers that we consume here in the United States They come from Ecuador and Colombia, South America.
Okay. Like I said, for those of you who are listening, like there's people watching this that aren't listening. That's a really fascinating figure because, obviously there was the freeze that happened that really impacted things. I think there was a strike, right, with some of the workers in Ecuador a while back.
We are constantly battling. It's like you go to your contingency mode.
Yeah.
And I'd love to talk about this because there is, it's an uphill battle. The flower industry is not an easy business at all, and you really have to be passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah.
World pandemic, when it hit, we went into it, going remote. I have an office in Quito, Ecuador with 30 people, and I also have our office based here in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah.
And we're remote every day. That was not a hard challenge for us.
Yeah.
The challenge was, because of all of the volcanoes, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the labor strikes that we've had during the middle of all of this. It was in Colombia, and it was terrible. Like, they really shut down and paralyzed what little we could actually move,
right?
Put in the chain of distribution.
So now that we've sufficiently scared everyone.
No, but there's hope. There's hope.
But there's an importance to this because I think that couples, one, are fascinated to know the behind the scenes of some of this stuff. Because we've had you on the podcast before, and some of the stuff she shared, I will try to remember to link that down below in the bio. That was a fascinating episode for me. But I think it's important for couples to know where the stuff is coming from and what their dollars are going towards. Like, I know one thing for you was
our main campaign that we went on, and we cut down our margins. Just a quick recap, we cut down our margins, and all we wanted to do was get these flowers that they were able to produce into people's hands. And with our 50 Flowers fans, it was incredible how people came out of the woodwork, and they were like, I loved my wedding flowers, and I so want to support. And it was a support to our growers.
What are some of the ramifications? How will this potentially affect couples? And then how can they still get that vision that they want and support their florist in the face of all? Because right now it's like, this sounds very doomsday, So what can we do?
Absolutely. Well, one thing that we say is, first off, take a deep breath. Because we all just need to go,
okay, that's a good point.
Yes, you will get your dream. It is the most important party, you're going to throw in your lifetime, and you will be able to get your dream. You may not be able to get that very specific flower. However, there are so many alternatives that you can add in there that you might not even know about.
This is okay. Every single time I do a Q&A Monday, people are looking for cost-effective or hardier versions of the most commonly seen flowers.
Exactly.
So, obviously, us throwing a bunch of floral names at you is not going to be, you're going to be like, I don't speak Latin.
Exactly,
But what are some of the most common ones what are some of the most popular flowers?
Well, most popular flowers that we retail, and just to say, we're delivering flowers to 2,000 to 3,000 weddings today, a week.
A week?
A week.
Oh, that makes me feel uncomfortable. A week.
You know what makes me feel uncomfortable? We're here talking about supply chain problems, and we do have supply chain problems. And quicksand is the hottest rose right now, and we foresaw that.
I didn't even know that was the thing.
Oh, it's totally the thing. And we have contract growing. One of my favorite growers in the whole wide world. We went ahead and the pandemic, we put in a whole bunch of quicksand, gambling on it. It's like, here I'm at the Russian roulette, and we sell out of it every single week. First off, okay. Second off, there are times also where, it was cold. And we don't have those, 200 stems. And, it's a first come, first serve as coming in. And we have to call and say, we don't have quicksand, but we have sandy. So you as a consumer, you wouldn't even know the difference. We get so stuck on that one specific flower. That, things are going to go wrong when you plan. And you want to trust your vendors to be like the experts and say, we don't have this, but we have this. So flexibility, I think, is one of the most important points.
Yeah.
And stick with a look. You know, you want that beautiful sandy, you know, beige color, you know, mixed with some eucalyptus. Oh, yeah. We've got 7 different varieties that are not quicksand that to the naked eye, you'd never know the difference.
So instead of like hyper fixating on a certain
Love that word.
Yes style, and most people don't even know that there are types of roses.
Oh, well, let's talk about that. Like,
so there are different breeds. Am I hearing from there?
varieties.
Like, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I heard that. That's what I heard.
I said varieties, okay? Yeah. Calm down, Lisa. But most people don't understand that there's, like, the world of florals is so vast. But just because you hear a specific name or a specific type of flower doesn't mean that you need to hyper fixate, and that needs to be the one that you have to have.
So this is a really great moment for us to talk about dahlias. Dahlias are beautiful.
Yes.
They're also persnickety, and it's one that scares the living daylights out of me. Because you put them in a consumer's hand and you open up the box, and if you don't understand that flowers, they marathon train, you know, and you know, when you're finished with a marathon, you're pretty beat up.
Yeah.
You know, and all you have to do is, you know, give them some Gatorade and they'll be fine. But at that moment that you open up your box and you see and you look at it and you're like, these are dead, you know, we get so many of these great phone calls that I love it. And they are fun. Yeah. They're actually, our team loves to take these. It's just like, cut them, put them in water, trust us, they're going to
look great. So not actual Gatorade.
Not actual Gatorade. Well, no. 6 years ago, I was walking in Medellin, Colombia at a breeder farm.
I just wish I was cool enough to even say sentences like that. Please continue.
You can turn along. I promise you. It would be really fun.
That would actually be really fun.
Let's go visit. Even if we do it stateside, we should go to a flower farm.
I would run through those fields like Maria.
You
know, just arms wide open, probably singing, not
you
well.
You would be like, are you kidding me? I mean, to understand the flower, that's my first book, by the way. I'm working on my first book right now, From Farm to Table. Yeah.
What do you not do?
Well, you know why I want to do this? We're going on a tangent here, but I got to tell you.
Right. I mean, I'm invested now.
People need, if you understood as a consumer what it takes to get that flower on your dinner table, you'd be so grateful. You would just be like, oh, wow, you started in a lab over in Holland. And you're the one out of a million rose varieties that made it. That's not a rose, but
no, it's not even real.
Yeah,
I want people to know. It's just there for green, okay?
I know the difference. So I'm walking through this breeder. They bring us in to like look at the different varieties and say, do you think this will sell? What do you like about this? And, you know, we walk through it and we open up, and they will do sometimes that they leave like a whole greenhouse and they let the flowers bloom on them. And holy smokes, I walked into my candy store. I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like all of these flowers. I'm like, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. Ooh, that one, no. Because of the green center, like no bride will want that. Like I want that, I want that. And we got to this, the common, and it's a daisy, you know, chrysanthemums.
Yes.
And when you think about a button palm, those are those little green button palms. They're green, they're white, they're purple, they're pink, they're blush, they're all different colors. And it looks like a button, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you leave that on a plant for 5 days, it will become a dahlia lookalike. You will not be able to tell, like knockoff. It is a dahlia knockoff 100%.
No way.
So I'm looking at it going, button palm, dahlia. We're calling that dahlia. And these flowers to anybody will look like a dahlia.
Oh my gosh. Because, so one of my dearest friends in the world is a florist. And we worked an event together, and she had these big, beautiful
dinner plate dahlias.
We lost half of them in the centerpieces.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was vaguely warm. It was mid-October, Southern California. It wasn't that bad. But they are so gorgeous, but they are so persnickety. So you have to end up ordering more to offset that potential. So to know that because we talked about this earlier. I'm pretending like it's brand new information, but it's not. They're sturdier too.
Yeah. They're sturdier.
Yeah.
And okay, first off, when you order dahlias from 50 Flowers,
Yeah.
we always put 20 to 40% extra in there because we know that they're just not going to make it.
Right.
I mean, they're very temperamental, and that's why this excitement over dahlias is.
So that is something that we get a lot of, and something we chatted about before was to put together some sort of little something for you guys, a little download that you can go, I think I'm probably going to link it right here, where it can take some of the most popular flowers and then offer their either more affordable or available replacements. Yeah.
One thing that I do think is very important now that we've touched budget is, you don't want to break your budget.
Yeah.
However, that picture of your special day, you're going to be holding your bouquet, and there are going to be, all the floral in it.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're really cognizant of that when you are working through your budget, and you don't cut too much. And you don't worry about, it's important. You're going to look at it every day.
Yeah.
And the good days and the bad days.
Yeah.
You're going to look at that. And here's a funny thing about my wedding. So for my wedding, I called all my rose breeders and growers around the world, and I said, hey, will you just ship me flowers? It's going to be this color. And, I called my calla lily people. Like, I just called my growers, and I was like, I'm getting married. Do you think you can send me some flowers? I ended up with 20,000 roses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. My designer was like, I met with my designer for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ted, you know what? This is all I'm going to meet with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay you whatever you ask of me. And I just want you to do whatever you want to do. I got married in these gardens downtown Dallas. And, everything turned out great except for my bouquet. Because I forgot to give him ribbon.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. If you look at my wedding pictures, you can see there's no, yeah. That's why I'm giving the tip of your bridal bouquet.
Yeah.
It is important. It's extremely important because you look at that. Like, I look at it all the time going, darn it.
It's a focal point.
Yes.
Like, it's with you for a majority of the day. That's a really good point.
And I have to say, my dream when, starting 50 Flowers, I didn't know I was going to fall into the bridal industry at all. I just fell into it.
You're like, I'm just here for flowers. Who are these people getting married?
I just want to get flowers to the consumer. That's all. And we found our niche in there early on. And the dream that I have is that you have fresh flowers. You don't have to have permanent flowers. Like, they're accessible.
Yeah.
And they're affordable.
Yeah.
However, you got to make sure that you don't overcommit.
Yeah, that's something we definitely talked about here on this channel before is like, you have to practice. And that's why I've received some of your products in the past and been like, here's something great to practice with. Or you also offer pre-done options. I've raved about your products on this channel before.
Have you seen our pre-done options?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I cannot believe that I just said that. I'm sorry.
Whole video.
Now I just saw. I remember this. My bad. Sorry.
I'm so glad I created a lasting impression for you.
Oh,
I actually ended up breaking it into 2 different videos.
Yeah.
Because one of them I opened up and I was like, I can't. This has got to be its own thing. I audibly gasped on camera. Yeah. So I know that you guys definitely have this whole, don't worry guys, we're going to link to them right up here for you to go check out. You guys are really committed to making sure that this is an affordable process for those who are going through it.
Absolutely.
And I could go waxing poetic on all the different things that you offer. You offer consultations.
Yes.
So if people have questions, you offer, there's so many different.
We give you the whole plan. In fact, we also have this really cool new feature we just launched, and it's called Make This Look, to where you can look at a real wedding testimonial.
Yeah. And
you hit a button, and we give you the recipe.
You stop that right now.
I'm telling you.
Literally, that is an idea that I had in my head. I'm like, someone needs to do that. They need to make recipes accessible for people. So obviously, based on all of that information we just flooded you with, I know that really does feel like a lot, but I think this resource guide that we're putting together is going to be a huge, huge resource for you. I should have come up with a new word, but we're rolling with it. It's fine. I know I linked it earlier in the video. I will link it down below as well. Lisa, thank you so much for being here. This is just, I get so excited to hear like how things work and behind the scenes, and I know the audience does as well. So to pull back the curtain and really make this feel more accessible for people is incredible. And I know that's the whole mantra of what you guys do.
It's really important to understand what you're committing to and understand, pull back that fear. We're so happy to share, and reach out to us.
Yeah.
Continue to reach out. We'll continue to, we're going to visit a farm.
We're going to go visit a farm.
We're going to go visit a farm.
A flower farm, and I'm going to sing in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah.
Shelby's going to take a video. It's going to be great content.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have two Mary Poppins running around.
It's going to be great. If you guys want further floral education and or guidance, check out 50 Flowers. They've got floral consultants that you can talk to help you really put together your dream floral vision for your wedding day, especially if you're DIYing. This is our favorite route to go, and we highly recommend that you check them out. So that's what we have for this week's video, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like this video, you know what to do. Go on down there and like the video and subscribe to this channel for more tips and tricks for the modern day bride. And until next week, bye guys.